Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all of you beautiful souls joining us today from wherever you are in the world. It is absolutely wonderful to have you here, and I am so excited to share some truly heartwarming news that has been lighting up the internet and bringing smiles to faces everywhere. We have the most delightful story to dive into today, one that involves love, nostalgia, beautiful connections, and a long-awaited return to a country that holds a very special place in the hearts of two people we have come to adore. That's right, we are talking about none other than Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who have officially confirmed they will be making their triumphant return to Australia next month for the first time in nearly 7 years. It is a moment that fans have been dreaming of, a reunion that feels destined, and a visit that promises to be filled with warmth, purpose, and the kind of genuine human connection that Harry and Meghan have become so famous for. So grab your favorite cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's embark on this beautiful journey together as we explore every delightful detail of their upcoming adventure down under. Today's video is going to be extra special because we are going to divide this story into two beautiful parts, each one focusing on the individual journeys of Harry and Meghan during this trip before bringing it all together in a celebration of their shared love for Australia and the Australian people. Let's get started. Part 1. Meghan's moment. The Duchess of Sussex returns to the spotlight with grace, podcasts, and empowering connections. Let's begin by shining a beautiful spotlight on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, whose upcoming activities in Australia have everyone buzzing with excitement and anticipation. The former Suits star, whose portrayal of Rachel Zane captured millions of hearts worldwide and who has since blossomed into a global humanitarian, lifestyle icon, and devoted mother, is reportedly gearing up for a creative and inspiring venture during her time in Sydney and Melbourne that feels absolutely perfect for this next chapter of her incredible journey. After the massive success of her own podcast, Archetypes, which topped charts globally and gave voice to so many incredible women from all walks of life, sharing their stories and their struggles with honesty and vulnerability, and after her hit Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, which showcased her genuine warmth, her impeccable taste, her gift for bringing people together around a table, and her ability to find beauty in the everyday moments, the Duchess is ready to dip her toes back into the audio world in a brand new and exciting way that feels perfectly suited to her evolving path and her desire to keep connecting with people on a deeply personal level. Rumors are swirling with the most delightful kind of anticipation, the kind that makes your heart flutter a little, that Meghan will be making a special guest appearance on the popular Australian podcast, Her Best Life, which is part of the larger Besties company founded by radio royalty Jackie O. Henderson and Gemma O'Neill, two women who have built an incredible empire on the foundations of authentic conversation, female friendship, and unwavering empowerment of women everywhere. This platform is absolutely perfect for Meghan's empowering voice, her hard-earned wisdom, her warmth, and her incredible ability to make every single person she speaks with feel truly seen, heard, and valued in the conversation. Imagine the beautiful energy in that room when Meghan sits down to chat, sharing stories about motherhood, about building a brand with intention, about finding balance in a chaotic world, and about the importance of lifting each other up as women. It is going to be absolutely magical to witness. Following beautifully in the footsteps of her dear friend and fellow lifestyle guru Gwyneth Paltrow, who in 2023 appeared at a massive Besties event in Sydney, participating in a wide-ranging and deeply personal Q&A session that drew a crowd of around 3,000 adoring fans at the ICC in Darling Harbour, the idea of Meghan doing the same is incredibly exciting and fully potential for creating those unforgettable, electric moments moments of inspiration that stay with people for years. It would be an evening of pure connection, of wellness talk that feeds the soul, of heartfelt conversation about living a meaningful life with purpose, grace, and authenticity, and of Meghan being exactly who she has always been, a woman who genuinely cares about the people she meets and the stories they carry. This isn't just about publicity or expanding her business portfolio. It's about something so much sweeter. It's about genuine human connection that transcends borders and titles. Because Meghan has always shown brightest when she is in authentic conversation with others, her beautiful eyes lighting up as she listens intently, her head tilted with genuine curiosity, and her voice soft yet powerful as she shares her own experiences with vulnerability and openness. Connecting with Australian audiences who have supported her so warmly from the very beginning of their journey, with Harry, who cheered for them during the 2018 tour, who celebrated the news of Archie's impending arrival, and who have stood by them through every twist and turn of their story, this connection will be a genuine joy to witness and a beautiful testament to her growing influence as a lifestyle icon and compassionate human being. This is Meghan, separate from the palace walls entirely, building her empire with grace, with authenticity, and with an unwavering commitment to lifting others up as she climbs, proving that you can be successful and kind, ambitious and compassionate, all at the same time. Her presence in Australia is a gift to the fans who have waited so patiently to see her again, and we have no doubt that every room she enters will be filled with light, laughter, and love. Now let's turn our attention to Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, whose journey during this trip touches the very core of his noble soul and promises to be one of the most moving and heartfelt homecomings imaginable. While Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, charms the podcast world and lights up every room she enters with her radiant smile and her empowering messages, Prince Harry is set to embark on a deeply personal journey that is, in many ways, a pilgrimage back to a sacred place that once gave him peace, healing, and a profound sense of belonging that he had rarely felt elsewhere in his young life. This is the Australia that Harry fell in love with long before Meghan, long before the world knew his name quite so intensely, a place where he could just be Harry, a young man finding his way in the world. In his raw, vulnerable, and deeply revealing memoir, Spare, which became an international bestseller and gave readers unprecedented insight into his heart, his struggles, and his triumphs, Harry wrote with profound affection and eternal gratitude about his transformative time in Australia, describing in beautiful detail how as a 19-year-old in 2003, long before the weight of his royal responsibilities felt so heavy on his shoulders, he spent precious time working as a jackaroo on a cattle farm in rural Queensland, and described those weeks as some of the best of his entire life, a time when he found a sense of family and inner peace, away from the cameras, away from the constraints of royal life that often felt suffocating, and away from the grief that had followed him since childhood after losing his beloved mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. It was in the Australian outback, under the vast starry skies and on the red earth, that a young prince found himself, and that connection to the land and its people has never left his heart. Now he returns to that beloved land, a man who has grown, who has healed, who has found his own powerful voice, and who has built a beautiful family of his own, carrying with him the same open heart, the same gratitude, and the same love for Australia that the Outback helped nurture all those years ago. It is believed with sweet certainty that much of Harry's time during this visit will be dedicated to reconnecting with the Australian Defence Force and the incredible veteran community that he holds so incredibly dear, as his bond with the military is sacred, unbreakable, and forged through his own decade of honorable service and his unwavering commitment to supporting those who have served their countries with courage, with sacrifice, and with honor. His connection to Australia's servicemen and women is deeply personal and profoundly moving, especially since in 2015 he spent an entire month embedded with the Australian military at a barracks in Darwin, living alongside them in close quarters, training with them under the hot sun, sharing meals and stories and laughter, and forging friendships that have lasted a decade and will undoubtedly last a lifetime. These are the bonds that cannot be broken by time or distance, the kind of friendships that pick up right where they left off, no matter how many years have passed. During this trip, he is expected to visit with old friends from his armed forces days, and these will not be stiff, formal meetings with rehearsed speeches and rigid handshakes. They will be warm, emotional reunions filled with genuine feeling, handshakes naturally turning into bear hugs, and shared memories flowing freely over cups of coffee or cold beers on a sunny afternoon, swapping stories of their time together, catching up on families and children, and the lives they have built since those days in Darwin, a true testament to the man he is, loyal beyond measure, eternally grateful for every person who has stood by him, and forever connected to those who serve and protect, giving Harry a precious chance to say thank you from the very depths of his heart to a country and its people who once helped a young prince find himself when he needed it most. For Harry, this is not just a business trip or a publicity tour. It is a homecoming of the heart, a chance to walk on soil that healed him, to embrace friends who knew him before the world defined him, and to show his gratitude to a nation that has always welcomed him with open arms. At its beautiful heart, this entire visit is perfectly balanced between the three sacred pillars of Harry and Meghan's post-royal life: private moments of connection that fill their souls, business ventures that align with their values and allow them to build something meaningful, and philanthropic work that changes lives and brings hope to communities around the world. On the philanthropic front, this trip aligns beautifully with their recent compassionate work across the globe, such as their deeply moving visit to Jordan just last month at the gracious invitation of the World Health Organization, where they hugged young cancer patients with tenderness, sat with families facing impossible challenges, held hands with those who needed comfort, and met with World Central Kitchen staff working tirelessly to provide food relief to those in desperate need, focusing their efforts on mental health support and the humanitarian impacts of conflict that leave invisible scars on entire generations. This Australian trip will likely see a similar focus on community resilience, on veteran support, on mental wellness and healing, continuing their global mission of spreading compassion like ripples across calm water, touching lives in ways both seen and unseen, proving that kindness is not a weakness, but one of the greatest strengths a person can carry into the world. On the business front, this is also a major moment for the couple's independent careers, a milestone worth celebrating with excitement, as Meghan, reportedly, takes greater control of her beautiful lifestyle brand as ever, which promises to bring beauty, intention, and joy into everyday living with products and content designed to nourish the soul and encourage mindful living. A trip like this is the perfect opportunity to expand her international presence and share her vision with new audiences across the Pacific. Australia has always been a massive supporter of the Sussexes, their enthusiasm and affection for them remaining strong through every triumph and every challenge, through every headline and every happy moment. And engaging with the market directly is a savvy and wonderfully human move that shows how much the couple has grown as entrepreneurs who value authentic connection over distant formality, believing that business can still be guided by heart and purpose rather than just profit. To truly understand why this trip carries such significance, it helps to look back with warmth at the history the Sussexes share with this magnificent nation. Their last visit in 2018 was nothing short of magical. It was their first major overseas tour as a married couple, radiating newlywed joy and excitement, moving through crowds with genuine warmth, stopping to chat with people who reached out to greet them, cuddling koalas with delight at Taronga Zoo, and enjoying the relaxed coastal atmosphere of Bondi Beach while watching surfers ride the waves under the golden Australian sun. It was also during that tour that the world learned with collective joy that they were expecting their first child, baby Archie, meaning Australia was among the first places to celebrate that life-changing announcement with them in a bond that many still remember fondly today. Harry later reflected on that tour during his candid conversation with Oprah, explaining how it was a turning point that allowed the world to see how naturally Meghan connects with people, how easily she brings warmth into every interaction and makes strangers feel like friends within minutes. According to Harry, audiences across Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Tonga responded to Meghan with enthusiasm because they could sense her authenticity and her genuine interest in others. That connection left a deep impression on both of them and revealed how powerful it could be when public figures are allowed to engage with communities in a more open and human way. Royal historian Tim Ewert later suggested in commentary to Sky News that the overwhelming success of the 2018 tour may have helped the couple realize how meaningful their work could be if they were free to shape their own path and connect with people without rigid royal protocols limiting their approach. And so, this upcoming visit carries the feeling of a circle gently closing while another one opening at the same time. They are returning to a place that once gave them a glimpse of the freedom and connection they now fully embrace in their life in Montecito, surrounded by their children, their dogs, their chickens, and the quieter rhythms of family life. The anticipation across Australia is already building, from the iconic sails of the Sydney Opera House to the misty landscapes of the Blue Mountains and the breathtaking coastal drive along the Great Ocean Road. Preparations are quietly taking place for a visit that may be relatively low-key and formal ceremony, but incredibly powerful in its emotional impact. Whether Meghan is standing on stage sharing words of encouragement and empowerment with enthusiastic audiences, or Harry is sitting with a veteran friend swapping old stories over a relaxed meal in a cozy pub, one thing seems certain. Australia appears ready to welcome the Duke and Sussexes once again with warmth, friendship, and that famous generous Aussie spirit. After several years away, their return promises not only nostalgia, but also the creation of new memories that will strengthen the bond between the Sussexes and the people who have supported them from the very beginning.